So this video is for the Unit 5 classwork, number 7, called Chew on This. So on this, what we learned today was how to write our arithmetic and geometric sequences, both the recursive and explicit formulas, using a different format, a sub n. I'm also going to teach us how to kind of type on Cami using some of the shortcuts, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to read through the problem, and then we're going to kind of highlight some of the important information and then go from there. So Mr. and Mrs. Gloop want their son Augustus to do his homework every day. Augustus loves to eat candy, so his parents have decided to motivate him to do his homework by giving him candies for each day that his homework is complete. Mr. Gloop says that on the first day that Augustus turns in his homework, he will give him 10 candies. On the second day, he promises to give 20 candies. On the third day, he will give 30 candies, and so on. So I'm just going to highlight. I'm going to come up here to where it says markup. That's your highlighter. And just so everyone understands, this top one, it was a text highlighter. So that's if I'm going to highlight like text that is on like a worksheet. This one here is a box highlighter. So sometimes I'll use the box highlighter if it's something that I'm handwriting on, or if I just want to highlight like this image here, then I'm going to use the box, okay? But if I'm highlighting just words that are in the text, I can just use this. So I'm going to grab some colors here, and I'm just going to highlight some of the important information here. So let's see. First day, 10 candies. Okay, I'm going to grab a different color. Second day, he's going to get 20 candies. And let me grab another one. Let's say I grab yellow. Third day, he has 30 candies, and so on. Okay, so I'm going to write the sequence out. Something else that's kind of a shortcut. If you want to get the text box, but you don't want to come over here and click on it every time, if you just type the number 6, okay, again, not in a text box, but you just type 6, press 6, it just jumped down to my text right here. And then I'm not seeing a text box, but wherever I'm going to click, I'm going to have a text box. So I can click here, and now I can start typing. So I'm going to type 10 candies on the first day, 20 candies the next day, 30 candies, ... Okay. I'm just going to highlight this, not highlight, but fill. So I just clicked in here, and to fill, I can come up here to the top and I can pick a color. So let's say I do it in yellow. Okay. So that's our sequence. First day, 10 candies, second day, 20 candies, third day, 30 candies, and so on. Now, we're going to write both a recursive and an explicit formula that shows the number of candies that Augustus earns on a given day with his father's plan. So here, I'm going to come and I'm going to get an equation box. Now, you can come and click here, but if I get out of this text box, I just click anywhere on the screen, I'm out of it. And if you press the number 7, it'll jump down to here, and now I can do an equation, and I don't have to go and click every time. So this is kind of just a shortcut. Don't have to do it that way, but just kind of giving us some things. So I'm going to click here, and here's my equation text box. So I'm going to do this in equation text box. And so what we learned today was to, instead of writing it as f of n, we can write it as a sub n. So I'm going to type in an a, and to get this to drop down to a subscript, when you're in the equation editor or the math text mode, if you hit shift and the minus, it'll drop down and you'll get an N. Okay, so I'm going to do a new share for a second so people see what I'm doing. Okay, let's see. Hold on. I'm going to actually just stop share for a second. Okay, and so I'm doing shift. Okay, I usually do shift on the other side, but I'll do shift here. So shift and the minus sign, and that will do a subscript. Remember, shift and 6 is going to give us an exponent when we're in the text, in the equation text box. Shift and 8, where we have the asterisk, gives us a dot for our multiplication. Okay, so again, to get it dropped down, I did shift and this minus. Okay. So now let me share again. Okay. So let me get back into here, and I'm going to put fill so you can see where I am. Okay, this is where I am. Okay, so again, let me start one more time. Okay, so I've got my A, and I'm going to do sub N. So I'm going to do my shift and the minus. It drops it down, N. Now, if I keep typing, I'm in that subscript. So to get out of the subscript, and same idea if you're in an exponent, you have to arrow. I'm just hitting the arrow keys, I'm arrowing out. Equal. Because some of us are having issues on staying in an exponent or something. So I want us all to learn how to get out of those types of modes. Okay, so A sub N equals the term before A sub N, which is A sub, so again, shift and minus, and the N minus one all needs to say in that subscript. Okay, that N minus one is all underneath the A, would be like under the line. And then I'm going to arrow out. Okay, and now what I'm going to do in this is say 10, 20, 30, I'm adding by 10. So I'm going to go plus 10. Now that's my recursive. The one extra thing I need to do is I need to know, because if I didn't see this 10, 20, 30, I would not know where I would not know what the sequence was exactly. I just know I'm adding 10. So I'm going to get back into this equation. I'm in the equation mode. I'm going to hit comma. And if you want to actually get a space, okay, if you want to get a space, I am going to be hitting the backslash. And so here I just hit the backslash. And it's hard to see, but there's a little white box around that. And if I hit the space bar, I actually got a space. So now when I type, it is spaced. Okay. So if I show you where that is on the actual keyboard, again, what I do is I hit this. This is my backspace. Okay. This one down here, I use when I'm in equation. This is all when I'm in the equation mode. I hit this one, and this is how I get a fraction. I'm hitting this one here, and then I hit space. Okay. And then when I do that, okay, I'm going to get what I want. Okay, so again, I'm hitting this, which is my backspace. I mean, a backslash, sorry, and then the space bar. Okay, so let me get back to our screen again. Okay, let me get back in here. And let me retry that again. So I'm there, I've got my comma, and I'm going to get a space. So I'm going to hit the backslash and then a space bar. And then if I hit backslash again and space bar again, backslash again, space bar again, it gives you more spaces. Okay. I just needed one space, but I just wanted to show you guys, you can space in the equations. Okay. I just learned that today. So that was something new. So now I have my recursive formula, but I don't know where I'm starting unless I let people know. So I'm going to go A sub N. So again, shift and the minus will drop us down. A sub 1, arrow out, equals, and day 1, he got 10 candies. There's our recursive. So again, to get my nth term, I take the term before n, which is A sub n minus 1, I add 10. Now to know exactly the sequence we're in, I need to know what A sub 1 is, okay, which is 10. Okay, I'm in the equation text box mode. I don't need to go click on it again. I can just click here and I can start again. Okay, so now I want my explicit formula. This is the one that I should be able to put in, 100 if I want to figure out how many candies he has day 100, and I'll get my answer like that. So I start again, A sub n, A sub shift and minus, n, arrow out. And here, I'm just going to get in here and highlight it again so we can see where I am. Okay. And then equals, and I'm going to start with the 10. Since I'm starting with 10, which is not my 0, it's my 1, it's my day 1, not day 0. I'm adding 10 candies every day times n minus 1. N minus 1 because it is day 1, not day 0. Okay, so again, I'm starting with 10 because that's this 10. I happen to be adding 10 unrelated to this number, okay? And it's going to be times n minus 1. That's your equation. It is not in the exponent. Some of us are putting this in the exponent, but if you're adding, not in the exponent, only if we're multiplying over and over again. That's geometric. So now it says use a formula to find how many candies Augustus will get on day 30. Okay, we got two formulas. We've got our recursive one. We have our explicit one. Recursive one would be nice. If I knew day 29, I could use that by adding 10 to day 29 to get day 30. I don't know day 29. I'm not going to use recursive. I'm going to use this one. If I put 30 in here, that's going to give me my answer. So again, I'm just going to click. I've got my equation text box. And I'm going to do a sub 30. Okay, a sub 30. And a sub 30 is going to be, and now I'm going to write my equation. It's 10 plus 10 times n minus 1. Well, my n is 30. So 30 minus 1. And then I would just put that into my calculator or do it in my head. Okay. So here, I'll put it into my calculator. Okay. Let me get a little more focused on it. Okay, so I'm going to go 10 plus 10 times 30 minus 1, which this is really just a third as 29. 29 times 10 is 290, plus 10 is 300. But you can put it in your calculator if you need. Okay. So I'm going to come over here and again, let me just fill this real quick. Okay, and this is going to equal 300. Okay, 300 candies is how many he's going to get on day 30. Okay, so now the next thing that they say is that Augustus, let me get down here, looks in the mirror and decides that he is gaining weight. He is afraid that all of the candy he will, that all that candy will just make it worse. So he tells his parents that it would be okay if they just give him 1 candy on the first day, 2 on the second day, and continuing to double that amount. So again, whoops. So we've got my highlight. Okay. So on the first day, he's got 1. On the second day, he has 2. And then we are doubling each day. Okay, so that's what's happening. Now, this particular worksheet's done, so you can just hit submit, okay, and turn this in. But this, and here, I'm going to write one more thing because we're going to need this in the next one. Okay, I'm just going to use the equation box. So this is a new sequence that we're going to use on the second worksheet, worksheet 8. So on day 1, he has 1 candy. On day 2, he gets 2 candies. Then it doubles. So then he has 4, double that 8, double that 16, and whoops, and so on. Okay. And that is what he is having in his new sequence. So this is what he's saying instead of the one he had before. Okay. So I'm going to stop this video and then I'm going to make the second one. And then you guys can watch that and see how to do those.